Hey YouTube, it's Lauren again. Know it's been a while since I posted anything. I'm still learning how to do the YouTube thing. I just wanted to give you guys some quick updates, but first I wanted to apologize for the quality of the lighting in here. I have decided to start filming in my invert room, invert, tarantula, whatever you want to call it. As you can see, my guys are all back here. So, yeah, it's been a pretty exciting week, and I also want to apologize. I am a hot mess. I just came home from work. It's been a long day. I work retail, so we're getting ready for Black Friday, and it's a show. So anyway, it's been an exciting week. As you can see behind me, I have an empty dram vial, and if you watched my first video, you know this used to belong to the Carabiner Versicolor sling that I have. However, it's not adequately vented, and because it webbed up the top of the vial, like literally right here, because it webbed up the whole top of the vial, and there wasn't enough ventilation in this because I'm an idiot and still don't understand, apparently, what cross-ventilation, how important cross-ventilation is to these arboreal species. I wasn't able to access the boluses that it was dropping in the bottom of the container, and there was mold in it. So, he got a rehouse into one of these, and it's basically a miniature version of the one that I have my AVIC in. So there was that. I don't want to move it right now. I don't want to disturb it. And this is going to tie into my next thing. So, I'm just going to put pictures in the... I don't know why I'm pointing down. I'm just going to put pictures in the video. Okay. So, as you guys know, I also showed you this. I added something to it, though. It's a little tank decoration. Again, if you watched my first video, not my last one was just a bunch of pictures of I can brain right now. My last video, wow, twice I did this. My first video, you know, this was supposed to be my Hamori's new enclosure. I was supposed to move it. However, it was in pre-molt. I didn't really know when it was going to molt, so I didn't want to chance moving it, and that sucker's pretty quick. For being a New World species and being known to be like a more slow-moving species, he can run pretty fast. So I came home on Tuesday, and every time I come home from work, my first thing I do is, depending on what time of day it is, I either feed my cats or I check on my animals. So I had just happened to come home on like a mid-shift, so I came into the spare room where we keep them, and I checked everybody. I checked him last. Notice I said him. And the tank was turned like my Asamani, who's mooning you guys right now. I don't know if you can see that. There's this little butt. So, was turned like long ways so that you saw the short side. And, I have a flashlight that I use to look at them, but I don't like using it, especially like if I know one of them is in pre-molt. So I look in there, and all I see are legs sticking straight up and at odd angles and stuff like that. So I start freaking out, and I know I understand that they don't, like, sit at odd angles, and when they die, they curl. So I started flipping out, but I knew that it wasn't dead. I was just panicked because all I'm thinking is, oh my god, it's molting, and what happens? They always seem to molt when I'm not home. And I flip out, especially since recently Reptiliatus posted the video about his big albiceps had a bad molt and lost a leg. So I think this was literally like the day after he posted that video. And I see that, you know, the molt is in front of the tank, and I look closer, and Cupcake is all the way at the back, so it seemed like it was fine. That night, I asked my boyfriend to pull the molt for me, because I'm still a chicken shit. And I was able to rehydrate it and sex it, and Cupcake is, in fact, a boy.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
And I am devastated about that. So, that was Tuesday. Was pretty bummed out that my first tarantula is a male, so I don't have as much time as I would like to with it. But at the same time, it's like, I feel like I'm doing something right, because this is the first time it's molted since I got it. Alright, so that was Tuesday. Wednesday, nothing happened. Thursday, I got stuck in a crazy snowstorm on my way home. It took me 2.5 hours to drive less than 5 miles from my job to get home. And I don't know why I'm sitting at a weird angle. So, as soon as I got home, again, came home, checked on my animals. My 2 B. albopilosum slings, my smaller ones, have not eaten in maybe like 2 weeks. They both burrowed to the bottom of their pixie boxes, and just on a whim, I fed the 2 others. I fed my Grammostola pulchra and my big B. albo, and just on a whim, I picked up the tank, box, whatever the hell you want to call it, and took my flashlight and shined underneath where the tunnels were, and noticed my smallest sling had molted. And I got all excited. I had Friday off, and my boyfriend asked me to, and at that point, like, I checked on him, I checked on the other ones, because my G. pulchra and the other B. albo look like blown up ticks, like their abdomens are all big and shiny. So, nobody, you know, that one sling, that was it. Only one that molted. So Friday, my boyfriend asked me before he leaves for work to help him feed the scorpions. So we go in, and while he's pulling out Sterilite containers and stuff like that, just for some reason, I'm like, let me check the other one, the second biggest one, the middle one, whatever you want to call it. And I shined the flashlight underneath, and that one molted. Now, Thursday night it didn't. It was literally like Thursday, Friday. Okay. And I'm like, oh, this is really cool. You know, I think they're sack mates, clutch mates. I don't know how you do it with spiders. So yeah. Yesterday, I come home from work. Come in to check on everybody. The versicolor is now molting. And I'm just kind of beside myself. I'm like, oh my god, I was so happy, because now it's like, I feel like I'm doing something right. They're healthy, they're growing. I just posted in one of the tarantula groups that I was afraid I was gonna kill the versicolor, because everything I read online, I know you gotta take everything, like care sheets and stuff, with a grain of salt, because most of them are garbage. But I was finding a lot of people saying that versicolor slings and Avix slings are, you know, pink toes in general. When they're small, they're fragile. And that's part of the reason why I rehoused it, was because it needed more cross ventilation. And, but, you know, for it to have molted less than a month after I had picked it up, I was just so happy. And it's kind of a strange, surreal feeling coming from somebody that was so afraid of spiders when I was younger that I just couldn't handle being around them. Like, I would take every opportunity I could to get away from them or squashed them or something like that. And now I have a giant house spider living under my desk in this room. I'm kind of afraid of it, but I won't kill it. And obviously I have tarantulas. Yeah, that was pretty much it. That was our week. We did a rehousing, which was pretty funny. Not funny, but it went smoother than I thought it would, especially since the first time we rehoused the
That's all, folks.
The first time we rehoused the Versicolor, it shot straight up my boyfriend's arm. And this time, the only thing that had really gone wrong, per se, and it wasn't even a bad thing, was I was shaking so much because I was afraid that it was going to get out and run up my arm. But it went right in, had no problem. While I was moving, you know, I had a pokey, what do you call them? A stick. Wow. I had a stick that I was trying to nudge him into the catch cup with, and I had to basically destroy the web that he made to get him to scoot up into the cup. And I don't know if it was if it was mold or what, but I pulled out the stick. It was covered in its webbing, and I thought I saw a little tiny blue leg, and freaked out. Literally was in tears because I thought I ripped its leg off, and I just don't know how to count, apparently. So, yeah. Exciting week. That's it for this video, guys. I just wanted to give you some updates. I'm not entirely sure how frequently I'm going to be posting, just because I do have a relatively small collection. I can't really do too many feeding videos since half of my collection just molted, and like a third of it's in pre-molt. Maybe. I don't know. Unless you guys enjoy watching my A-Cal Cody's stuff multiple crickets into her mouth. I don't know. I do want to do a couple of videos showing off the scorpions that we have. We have a couple different species we keep. We actually have a communal too. A communal tank of bark scorpions. And that's pretty much it. My boyfriend's working on a tank right now that I might do some videos of. And we're actually talking about possibly moving next year, so we're going to get out of the apartment and hopefully find a house big enough that we can have more animals. I know he really wants crocodile skinks, I really want a crested gecko, and a blue-tongued skink, so we might end up gravitating more towards a channel that's like exotic animals instead of just the tarantulas. But I don't know. If you guys have any suggestions of what you want to see my cats or whatever, because those are the only things besides the tarantulas and the scorpions that we have. If you want to see my cats act like idiots, let me know down below. If you're new to my channel, hit the subscribe button, tap the notification bell if you want to be notified of whenever I post new videos, whenever that may be. And I do want to say thank you for everybody that's been subscribing. Thank you so much. Everybody that's been leaving me such nice comments on my first video. I really, really appreciate it, especially since I'm so new at this, and I'm just kind of winging it. I have no idea what I'm doing. So thank you again, guys, and I really, really appreciate it. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.